Hello, today we're going to be talking about Brain Regan. This is a Netflix original special that came out last week, and it's called Brain Regan Nunchucks and Flamethrowers. And Brain Regan is a pretty clean comic. He doesn't swear at all in his show. He doesn't tell dirty jokes. He doesn't get lowbrow. So he is pretty good as far as like what kind of basically he meets the criteria for all audiences. You don't have to be an adult to enjoy his humor. So it's a good combination. He's a good comedian, and it was a funny special. I mean, the jokes are a lot of dad jokes, so there's not a lot to them, and there's not a lot of huge surprises, but they are funny and they are entertaining. He's a good comedian and he knows how to tell a joke. In one instance at the end, they actually show like a blooper reel of his delivery and how they edited it. So for the special, so it's interesting to see that. I think that's the first time I've seen that, where they actually show something like that being edited out. But it's really it wasn't like a bad joke or anything that got edited out. It was just him mispronouncing a lead into his joke. So it was just the first time I've ever seen that, and it was interesting, so I thought I should mention it. But Brain Regan's delivery overall is good. He's entertaining. He knows how to work the crowd. He's a veteran, so he's been doing this for a while, and like I said, he knows how to tell a joke. He starts out with some basic jokes, like about weight gain and the effect it has on things like his wardrobe. He kind of talks about politics, but not much. It's mostly, he kind of skirts that issue and talks more about like Senate hearings and how the way people treat other people in Senate, which was pretty funny the way he demonstrated it. And he talks about like local council meetings that he went to and the kind of compromises they come up with there, which was pretty funny. He talks about a lot about sports and going to see sports, and he talks about things like why do managers in baseball wear uniforms but none of the other sports? They just dress like coaches. Like it almost looks like they think they're going to get in the game, kind of, which was pretty funny, and something that I'm sure a lot of people have thought of before. He has jokes about like his kids and being in a ride at Disneyland, and how hectic it can be with people trying to cut in front of him, things like that. He talks about his dad. He has quite a long bit about his dad and his dad's sense of humor, and it's kind of like a dry wit kind of humor, and the examples he gives are pretty funny. And same with his mom, she has a different kind of humor, but also she seems to be pretty funny also. And one of the jokes he has that was really funny was he talks about like press conferences and how nobody seems to realize by now that when you do a press conference, the people who are asking the question need to have a mic too, so you can actually hear the question, because all we ever hear is the answers, like in sports interviews and in like police press conferences where you need important information but you only hear half of it. And he has some really funny examples. He talks about Kim Jong-un being his being like a Facebook friend or a Facebook follower, and how weird that is for him, and things like that. He does have some pretty good jokes overall. Like most of them you would kind of classify as dad jokes, like they're safe jokes that kids and parents would all like. He never gets into sex or swears or anything like that, as I mentioned earlier. So he's a pretty clean comic. He also has a bit about playing board games with his kids, because he has a couple of kids, and things about like not understanding Clue without the clues being basically handed to him. He doesn't understand, so he never wins. He has some jokes about like mousetrap and how something like that would ever get invented in the first place. One of the things he talks about with baseball is he goes into how umpires react and how interesting it is, the difference between a ball and a strike, and how you can, you really hear a strike but you barely even know that it's a ball because he doesn't register it. And that was pretty funny, talking about things like the way crowds react in different stadiums, which he had some good jokes. So overall, it was pretty funny. Not laugh out loud funny. It's, as far as I'm concerned, it's my opinion, anyways, that his jokes were funny, but like I said, they're dad jokes. They're not predictable. I wouldn't say that, but they're just not laugh out loud hilarious either. I did have quite a few laughs though, and especially like in the sports jokes, the ones where he's basically saying the things that other people would think, and it's a lot of common ground. So I'm sure a lot of people would find him funny, and I mean it's an hour show and it's worth the sit for sure. Just not one of the best ones on Netflix right now. So that's Brain Regan, Nunchucks and Flamethrowers, and it's a Netflix original comedy special available now on Netflix. I'm going to give it a thumbs up, and as far as a rating goes, I would give it a 6 out of 10. It's good, it's above average, but it's not great. So that's Brain Regan, Nunchucks and Flamethrowers, and give it a watch if you can't find other specials to watch. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe, or all the above. Thank you, and have a nice day.